remember if we did anything with this. Oh yeah, this can't be a best of 3 anymore, huh? Or else they shouldn't play another game.
It's a best of 9
It's the best of whatever they have to play.
to satisfy the masses.
Troll to what? Hang on. Okay, let me just get. Oh, I'm so okay. So, oh yeah, okay. The score is the same. Toggle. There we go. A, B, C. Pick. I'm picking C. I think this is gonna be his scout pattern or his tactic. I hope I have an influence on his tactic. I think it'd be great.
Right. Anyway, let's introduce our players. Here in the north part of the map, we have the red Protoss player, Balthazar.
We do indeed. And in the bottom left part of the map, now he's being the purple one. It is Teddybear from Team Tactics. And we did see a very interesting game last game where Teddybear did go for that fast Nexus. And he did hold it. And Balthazar had a really hard time dealing with it. Just back to the scout discussion for just a second. It's something will probably happen to the scout later on. Right now for next patch, we're focusing on getting the game speed correct. The game speed is faster, like you can see right now, but it's done through global behavior instead of actually changing values. So all the values are kind of wrong, and also it only affects certain stuff. So we want to get that right. And we also are making a change to the queen, which is going to be quite big. A queen will be no longer costing supply, and it will only be 100 minerals, but it will lose its attack, and you can still only make 1 per hatchery. So it's fairly unabusable that it doesn't cost supply.
Oh, okay.
Especially since it can't attack. But you could still make like a ton of hatcheries late game and make a ton of queens to transfuse ultralisks, I guess. But that's expensive queens if you have to make 1 hatchery per queen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you can do that at that point, you probably would win anyway. And those are going to be some really big changes because it's going to basically make Zerg macro better, which has been lacking a lot because both the Cadellian Citadel and the Orbital Command has just been 100 minerals, no supply, and for some reason queens, you know, because they attack, have been a lot more expensive for Zerg. But it has hurt their macro so much, so we want to change that and make it a little bit more similar between the races at that in that regard. Also inject now because and it's that's already in the game, but I just want to inform you about this because you don't usually if you make 1 queen per hatchery in Starbow, you basically have too many queens.
Right.
Because it's only 15 energy per inject. So your queen has to wander around injecting a lot more in Starbow than she would in StarCraft 2. So because of that, we actually put like a sick long range on inject. So you don't have to wander so much. So it has like 25 range or something crazy on the inject.
Right. Well,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, I was just lagging out for a sec. Now, we actually have some interesting things happening. We both have Twilight Councils for either player. Balthazar is already starting to take a little bit of map control with those Blink Stalkers there. Even working on reality charge. So that's looking like he's made his choice for what he's going to use to take at least control of the initial phase of the game so far.
Definitely, and it's very interesting because it's Teddybear's turn to go for... I'm not going to say he's going to go for reverse because he already has that Twilight Council up. If I just start derping, it's just because I'm not used to this overlay. So I don't really know why he's making... I guess he wants to be safe versus DTs or something, but then you should maybe just make a Forge and a Cannon. But oh, okay, there we go. Balthazar's going to try and... Yeah, Stalkers shooting up high ground to Dragoons is just a sad sight to behold. You're gonna need
we do so little damage and then it gets reduced.
Yeah, they're gonna need like 15 Stalkers to kill a Dragoon. But we have so we have the singularity charge incoming for Teddybear and the duality charge, like you mentioned, for the Stalkers. So this is kind of odd though. I haven't seen like mass Stalkers in a while. Like I've seen Stalkers be incorporated in PvP, like mixed in with other stuff and to blink around and be annoying. Oh, they outrange. That's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, for now they do. I think once duality charge finishes, that's +1 or +2? No, +2. That actually puts them on par. So then they can duel again. That Teddybear will have that high ground advantage for a while, but with the numbers getting this high for Balthazar, that could turn out very ugly. Remember, Balthazar can more easily retreat and pull back units to only receive shield damage, and Teddybear doesn't have that luxury.
Indeed, and so it's really Balthazar who has the map control at this point. Whenever Teddybear tries to move out, Balthazar can just blink into the main of Teddybear and be super annoying. We actually already have a Templar. Teddybear is going for the craziest build I have ever seen.
Yeah, he's getting the let's build every tech structure build.
Yeah, I did this once for fun in a 3v3 or 4v4 in StarCraft 2 where I put a constraint on myself that I could only make one unit of each. Like, I could only... for Terran, which was a really
It's
weird
like the
army.
inverse mono battle.
Yeah, it's the reverted mono battle. So he's gonna get a cannon on the high ground, but he can just blink in other places. But Teddybear is gonna... Well, okay, so in that dropship we have 2 High Templars. Is Storm researched? No.
It's on the way.
So it's the... Yeah, oh yeah, it is on the way. It's the standard Storm with no... Okay, there we go. He's gonna hit right as this expansion completes though, so that's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, he's gonna catch the transfer of the probe.
Oh! Do it, Teddybear, do it. I want... Okay, here we go, here we go.
Oh, here we go. The plays. Oh, the storm is good! Oh, the storm is very good!
Wow.
Holy cow, that's a lot of damage.
Like, you don't expect that. You don't expect a storm drop at the 8-minute mark. That's just...
No,
that,
you don't!
that just
That's
never
really
happens.
good. Yeah, Balthazar is now being pulled back, and Teddybear has more or less neutralized this contain for the time being. As long as this War Prism will hang around the natural, or the main for that matter, these Stalkers are going to have to be sticking around to try and pick it off. So that, oh, this doesn't happen again! 4 workers. It's pretty good.
It is. Oh, and the worker kill tab still works. I'm so happy with that. Okay, but he actually can see up high ground with this Stalker, so he can chase away this War Prism, so that's nice. Meanwhile, Teddybear is getting an expansion of his own. If we look at the units in general, though, actually they're very similar, because Balthazar, when it comes to making probes, Balthazar is this beast. He can make so many probes, it's insane. So, storm dropping this guy is just kind of neutralizing him being Balthazar. I actually casted a game, it was a PvT that was really long, and he made a total of a little over 400 probes that whole game.
Wow. The storms are going down. Actually, these Stalkers are not very, very sturdy, so they will take tons of damage from that storm. War Prism only barely gets out, though. And that's one High Templar down.
Total of 14 workers killed, so yeah.
Totally worth it.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, even if he didn't kill the workers, it still would have been worth it because he gets to expand now.
True, he basically removes the entire container. And now Teddybear has a much more potent army than his opponent. Is he still making... No, he's making Archon Zealot now, which is nice. He shouldn't make any more Stalkers at this point.
The Stalkers have nice utility, but they're not really that strong in straight-up fights, so...
Yeah, it basically says that the era of Stalkers are over. By the way, this map is called Dante's Peak and is also made by Kentuva, who was formerly discussing with others in the chat. Just wanted to throw that out there.
It's a very pretty map.
It looks very pretty. It is based off of a Brood War map that was just green and so it looks very different, but the layout is basically the same. But we have Teddybear attacking now, and he's just gonna try and go for it. He's storm dropping behind this again!
Oh my goodness, this is excellent. Even if the engagement doesn't really go all that well for him, all things considered, that worker kill is probably what he was going for. Not so much the frontal damage.
21 workers killed in total. And he has those cannons in his natural that he can fall back on. But oddly enough, though, if you look at the... Balthazar still has more workers than his opponent. That is incredible. With 21 workers killed from Teddybear.
That's pretty incredible. Well, I mean, he does have 3 Nexi now. So he's just been very consistent about those and has had the capacity to make a few more. Though I don't know how long that's been the case. Second War Prism with a High Templar coming out. That will be Teddybear putting the pressure on the main base, but there's a Stalker here that'll see it, some Archons on the way. This War Prism isn't going to get very far.
No, hopefully he'll be able to pull the workers, though, because there is, like you said, a High Templar here, and no, it didn't get anything.
0 kills in that one.
It's a couple of
not quite as much worth as it's his brother in the other corner of the map.
True. Now, there are 3 Stalkers on the map. I think they're going to try and blink into the main. No, they're just going to blink slightly to the right. That's the other.
It's like, no, 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 we should be standing like 5 feet that way.
Another storm drop! Wow, this is so annoying. He should make like a Corsair or something. Just get rid of this stupid warp prism.
Yeah, just for that. Actually, I think it wouldn't be crazy for Balthazar just to blink one. I'm not sure if you can actually stand on this high ground area here where the warp prism was over.
You cannot. He actually made the map in such a way that any high ground that's marked with orange is unstandable.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, otherwise you just blink a stalker up there and there you go.
Yeah. So
Oh, another drop here in the main, and a number of workers lose their lives again. This harassment is really effective, and it's now. Well, no, Balthazar is still ahead in workers. What? How does he do that?
29 workers killed for Teddybear, and 42 workers versus 3. He's not just ahead in workers, he's 10 workers ahead. Like, he's got like... He's got a hefty percentage amount more workers than his opponent, but Teddybear doesn't care. He's just going to move his big army over the map and try and kill his opponent. We'll see if he can do it. Oh, I like this blink around from these stalkers. They're going to try and sneak into the main, perhaps. There's some friendly zealots to greet them.
Oh, no, that's not going to go very well. With the cannons there, that's totally 1 stalker down, 2 stalker down, and number 3... Oh, it
wow.
survives. But only to scout around, it doesn't really get to do much.
Oh, nice storms from Balthazar. Those actually all over the army of Teddybear, and I think he can hold this actually. There's a lot of Dragoons, but he needs to tank his zealots. Here comes the zealots. He needs to pull the Dragoons back, so no, but actually Teddybear holds, and I think he can pick off the 3rd base from Balthazar now. Which is
yeah,
a nice
Balthazar's in a little bit of a tough spot. He doesn't have quite as much army supply. He does have a slight upgrade advantage. Ooh, that's a lot of worker kills in that Archon. 12 kills on that Archon, holy cow.
Very nice.
Teddybear, the slayer of workers.
And in the meantime, okay, the Teddybear had to kill that stalker with workers, which only works if your opponent's distracted, of course. But this was nice from Teddybear. He did, you know, he's been doing really well on killing workers and bases this whole game, and it's almost putting him on an equal status with his opponent. I think, was that another storm drop? Yeah. Whoa, 48 workers killed. That was some big storm drop I just missed. So
yeah, I think that might in part have also been an Archon with 12 kills that was in the engagement when all the probes got transferred from the 3rd. So basically, Teddybear is the man with no mercy. Worker count slightly in favor of Teddybear at this point in the game.
Now he's finally catching up on workers. After only killing 48 of his opponents. Like, imagine that. Look at the units. Imagine if he had 48 more workers now. Like, that's just so crazy.
Yeah.
Then he would have too many workers in Starbow, pretty much.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was pretty high on the worker count anyways, and Teddybear is actually getting pretty high on there as well. Where to the point where the army supply, well, it's not really suffering, but it's a lot of investment in terms of resources.
See, this is so funny. Like, he can just move his warp prism slightly to the right, and he can either get a storm drop, or he can force all the workers to stop mining. Like, he's gonna get value out of that anyway, as long as it doesn't get picked off, and he has more vision than his opponent. So
Balthazar is just gonna build another cannons. Like, well, then you don't get to drop here. And then I imagine he will move to the north side, and then something similar will happen.
And Teddybear is actually getting his 3rd base as well, so this is really nice for him. And how's the upgrading? Where do I check upgrades? U? No, that's units. Upgrades. P? No.
G is upgrades.
G, thank you. There we go. Fellow caster knows these buttons. So we have +2 for both of them, actually. Oh, there's no. Ooh, Balthazar doesn't have the range for Dragoons, but it doesn't really have Dragoons, so it doesn't matter.
No, he's just been focusing on Stalkers and the Zealot Archon that he now has. He's relying on... Oh, and that's actually not a great angle there for Teddybear, who ends up storming his entire own army! That's not great! No, some great storms by Balthazar.
I think there were Balthazar storms, yeah. Oh, let me test something. Can I change... Hang on.
Can I that's in the options menu, the spell effects.
Team colors.
Yeah, I think you have to restart your StarCraft for that, though.
Okay. Hang on, let's check the spell effects too. I was just kind of... Yeah, I'll do this later.
Yeah.
I think
4th base getting detected there by Balthazar's Zealot. We'll know exactly where that is. But right now it seems that Teddybear, because he has the slightly more solid army, he's got a lot of Dragoons, he's got Zealots and Archons in here. Upgrades, not really a big difference. Balthazar is going to take an attack upgrade lead, but it's... You know, I think more than anything, this army count is going to be more significant than that. So for now, Teddybear has a sort of map control, but Balthazar is doing a nice job with these Zealot run-bys to still try to get some damage in on these expansions.
But yeah, Teddybear has the DTs to defend, though, and I think they're actually going to do the job too. That's very nice. don't see defensive DTs too much, but that actually works wonders at this point.
Yeah. Oh, big engagement at the third of Balthazar.
Ooh, some nice storms going down from both sides. I definitely want to put on those colors next time and restart the game and try and see if I can make that work.
Yeah, oh, that's a good storm there by Teddybear, working away all that energy. A lot of Archons falling very, very rapidly. The Zealots, though, still alive, are going to work their way and clean up the last of these Dragoons, and this is not going to work too well for Teddybear. I'm not actually sure how Balthazar managed that.
No, I'm surprised by anything Balthazar is managing to do this game. Like, right now, he's ahead in workers again somehow.
Good grief, man.
And he's also ahead in supply. He just does things. I would have to like.
I guess the upgrade advantage really counted there for Balthazar because they mostly had approximately same compositions. Although Balthazar, of course, has a lot more zealots rather than the Teddybear, who relies more on the Dragoon count, and that might actually be a big factor in this as well.
Yeah.
Another bit of a skirmish here at the fourth.
Did chronoburst those cannons, but it wasn't enough to kill off this force. But it did buy him time he needed to get his army up there, and he also has both the observers and the Dark Templars. Oh, but he's storming his own observers. I think he... No, okay, only one of them. Oh no, that was Balthazar's observer. That's good to storm. So this is... Sorry, go ahead.
These DTs are actually being a really nice asset here for Teddybear, especially defensively. They're just doing a lot. There's only one observer here. Okay, now there's like 3 for Balthazar. But
he just has a way of producing things that is incredible. Like, he has one observer.
Yeah.
Oh, now he has 5. Oh, he has 20 workers. Oh, now he has 40. It's like,
Yeah.
how does that happen?
Yeah, exactly. He just manages to produce more than most people in that same position, which normally is a skill reserved for those playing pro in Korea.
Yeah,
With all the splash damage, these observers are actually going to fall very, very quickly. It's Teddybear's observers that are getting the hit now. No DTs in this composition for Balthazar. Not as much of a lead.
Oh,
the DT! Good storm!
The counter storm from Balthazar, I think. But yeah, that was very nice. Oh, spotting a very, very bold placement of a pylon there from Balthazar.
Remember, Balthazar is the only one who has warp gate in this game, so he may actually turn some of his gateways into warp gates and decide to warp in across the map to get a little bit of an offensive advantage.
Teddybear could do that with his warp gates. That would be interesting. Balthazar is getting his 4th base up. Teddybear is working on his 5th. Yes, I can count it sometimes.
We actually have a double forge out of Teddybear. Wants to really catch up on upgrades. See if he can get a little bit of a lead there.
Look at the defensive line of Teddybear. It's just beautiful. He has them all lined out. The Archon should, of course, be in front, but except for... No, now they're turning into ball again.
Yep, bowling up.
I wouldn't mind seeing the pathing being a little bit more violent in Starbow, I think. I think it's still bowling up quite a bit. But you see as the units move around, they become more and more of a line and they spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel we could do that even more, if possible.
Yeah, I think one of the things that really does speak to sort of the anti-death ball mechanic that Starbow has is, curiously enough, it's the design of its units. The fact that you don't have units that are good at short, medium, and long ranges. You have units, a lot of units, that are good at sort of short and medium ranges, and they're constantly jousting for position, so you don't get to ball up, because you don't have a unit that also gets to do a lot of damage at long range. There's only so much space you have to play with.
That's actually a very good point. Like, if you have like Dragoons and Stalkers, they're just gonna, fight because they have the exact same range. Although that's a very odd composition to use as an example. But yeah, that is actually quite true and interesting. And also, we don't have any units that are good because they're on top of others, like Colossus and Medivacs would be. Yeah,
Colossus definitely contribute because both, they get to stand on top of units and they have more range. So it's very easy to have all of your army firing at the same point. Okay, we have a big attack here for Balthazar at Teddybear's natural.
Nice. He's going to force him out of position, but he might get himself trapped, but he has the defensive storms here. Very smart play from Balthazar. Needs to storm more, though. He has more energy. There we go.
Yeah, this is still a very big army. Even though it's going to take a lot of hits, I'm not sure how long Balthazar can last. He's going to run up to the high ground, giving himself at least that little bit of an edge. And actually, if he can keep position above this ram, that's actually going to be really good. He does exactly that, choking off the Zealots, getting the splash damage in. Some storms coming down here from Teddybear. Don't think that... yeah, there we go. There's the rifts. Getting the most of those units out of there.
Need to rift out of there. We actually did some slight changes with rift. Rift takes a little bit longer now before they actually get out of there, so you can't like it's not as effective just to do the panic rift. It's
Yeah.
more effective to do a planned rift, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Just because you're rifting your units doesn't mean they don't take any damage anymore. They're still sitting there for quite a long while.
so I felt that was an important because rifting was there to make it easier for Protoss to be aggressive with less risk. It wasn't there just to save any unit that is in danger.
Yeah, to just go, well, I guess I'm not attacking. Suddenly, poof, unit saved.
Teddybear with a nice warp in here now, using his warp gates to get some DTs in there, but there are cannons kind of oddly placed to deal with this, but they're more placed to deal with an actual attack than a warp in.
Yeah.
He's going to keep the Stalkers there to deny mining, and then he's going to move the DTs to the next base, but that's not going to be too effective. There's even some idle probes. Balthazar has so many probes that he can keep some of them idle and be just fine.
Yeah, there's no problem. Of course, he also has that giant fleet of observers there to make sure he can catch some of those stealth units, which are now slowly beginning to make their way into this fourth base, I guess it is?
Yeah, I guess that is a fourth base. Just in case the cannons weren't enough. But yeah, Balthazar should be very safe here. Oh, he's gonna morph an Archon and the... Oh, yeah, he's gonna rift it out of there.
Oh, that's actually really clever.
Oh, he's only gonna get one though. The other one's gonna die. Wow, it takes forever to kill.
Big engagement in the middle of the map, though.
Nice.
A lot of army for Teddybear here, trying to engage what is here for Balthazar. There's so much splash damage that Teddybear has. These Archons are gonna melt through these Zealots, and they do.
It's the War of the Archons, the Energy Ball versus Energy Ball. Like, there was so much storm going on, and I wasn't really sure who was storming. It's like, some good storms, I guess, but oh,
For
wow.
some of them. Yeah, fortunately for storms, it doesn't matter who casts them.
That's true.
Most of them will take damage.
You know, in the end, no matter who casts them, the storm always wins.
Yeah, exactly.
A very damaged War Prism. That miraculously slips over. He was headed straight over the army, and the army just moved out of its way for him. A very polite army there, to be
Yes. I mean, there's like 3 Dragoons in here that can actually shoot up. Everything else is just Zealots, pointing their side blades at it, going, "Rah!"
Yeah. It's... Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
That's the best I could come up with.
Balthazar's trying to drop now. He's gonna go for the most important target, the assimilator.
Currently, the assimilator is exhausted, so not a lot of gas being mined from that. But it still nets something. So getting to pick those off is still a win.
Yeah. Although he didn't get to do it. Also, this orange thingy you see at the edge of the map actually blocks air units, which is annoying if you haven't played on this map too much.
Yeah, it makes sense. Otherwise, you just have so much dead space.
Yeah. But it's kind of an interesting way to deal with all dead space. And it's basically because the map maker insisted on making this map rotated 90 degrees the way it is. I mean 45 degrees the way it is.
Yeah.
Teddybear tried to get away with a very bold expansion, but he's going to catch some units there. Very nice. If we look at the general overview of stuff, though, Balthazar is maxed. He keeps losing engagements. He keeps losing probes. But he's somehow 50 supply ahead of his opponent. Okay, not 50 anymore. Like, let's look at the units. He has more workers, but he should really stop making them. I hope he does. Yes.
Yeah, the army supply is actually not that different right now.
No, he has just more workers. And also very interesting, we have Arbiter Tribunal coming in for Teddybear. We might see some stasis later on, or some recalls. That would be sick.
That would be really good. A base gets denied here from Balthazar. Teddybear is trying to push in, but Balthazar right now, he's the one who gets to have a little bit of a better engagement just because he has a lot more army to spend on this. A lot of Archons here to splash down most of these Zealots, and this engagement is going to go into Balthazar's favor. No surprise there. Also having the slightly shorter reinforced path, of course, being on his side of the map. Oh, a lot of Zealots there remaining, though.
And he's actually, Balthazar's like, he doesn't care if he might lose this battle. I'm still making this base. Okay, he's cancelling it again, actually. So Teddybear did deny that for now, but there's a... Wow, Balthazar with the production capacity, that's just incredible. In the meantime, he's also dropping in the main base of Teddybear. He doesn't like to drop the splash, he just drops Zealots. But it works, and he has his very damaged War Prisms to go with it.
Is this a new icon for the Arbiter?
Which one?
The one in the production tab.
Maybe if it's new, it's old. If you know what I mean, like it's
oh right, I just haven't seen it. It's pretty. I like it.
It is. I think the custom model. I think the Arbiter is a custom model that was made by someone a long time ago that we just stole. Like that was way back before I was into development.
Oh yeah. So we have Balthazar and Teddybear skirmishing out here again. A reinforcement advantage now is going to push Balthazar back. Also having DTs, and no detection is here for Balthazar should really keep his observers with his army.
We have a very strange map. You know, the map is split into. I've actually never seen a really long game on Dana's Peak. So seeing how this expansion pattern works out is very interesting. Also, especially along PvP on this map. So it's kind of Christmas twice. You're getting both at the same time here.
Yeah, with these interesting sort of high ground formations, sort of separating the top left and the bottom right of the map, it actually gives a really nice defender's advantage, assuming Balthazar can keep his army on the high ground there, because that means essentially Teddybear doesn't get to push up this way. He has to find another way through the middle of the map, for instance, where he doesn't have that deficit of having to fight up a ramp.
Yeah, this is actually a very interesting map. I feel it's a little bit underrated, and one of the reasons it hasn't been played that much is just because the textures are so dark, so it makes the minimap a little bit difficult to look at. But they were recently more lightened by Kentuva. They used to be even darker. Oh, the Arbiter
we have the first Arbiter here.
It is out. Does he have any stasis? He has one stasis potentially, but we're gonna do some storm first. That's a good storm.
That is a good storm. Big storms there by Balthazar as well, forcing actually his own retreat just because he can't attack into storm. Nice storm there, though. Getting a lot of the Dragoon army there, but as long as that Arbiter is still here, this is not a great fight. There's actually no detection. Well, there's two observers here for Balthazar.
Yeah, but it's always so scary. Like if he suddenly storms his own observer, you have a completely invisible army to fight against. Like you have to be a little bit more scary. And also, this is important. The shield gets more armor when they're cloaked by an Arbiter.
Really?
Yeah. So the whole army of Teddybear is stronger now. And here comes the stasis. Nice, stasising the units in the back. Actually getting an observer too. And wow, yes, Teddybear really winning this fight.
Yeah, despite finding partially up a ramp, just that cloak is a big asset, and shutting down those Dragoons really helps as well. The Zealots, of course, much more dependent on how much space there is, and with a large Dragoon count here for Teddybear, that means he gets to have more units fighting in this engagement. Ooh, excellent storm there by him as well, and it's looking like it's gonna go pretty well, but Balthazar, he has all the warp gates here. He can reinforce on top of the battle, and it's looking like it's beginning to sway in favor of our red Protoss here.
Yeah, Balthazar with an incredible amount of production, and his reinforcements, and also his back is so much higher than his opponent that he can afford to lose a couple of fights as long as he doesn't lose any armies.
Yeah, he basically Balthazar just has so much production that he has so much money that he gets to have enough warp gates so that it doesn't really matter that it takes him longer to produce stuff. And since he's not making any Dragoons, he doesn't really lose anything for it either.
So he's gonna try and move in here. I feel this is kind of a trap for him because there's a lot of cannons to defend, and here comes the army from the back, but the army of Teddybear is very small, and he doesn't really have the income for some reason. I guess he just has less workers and very nice stasis though.
Arbiter gets picked off, but does get a stasis off, as you say, and this base by Teddybear is getting ravaged by the Zealots from Balthazar. Teddybear, though, is trying to reinforce to keep this army from attacking any more volatile bases. We'll probably be able to save this base that he cannoned off.
Yeah, he needs to just... Well, I don't know if he even wants to use Next Ascender to rift out of there. He can just reproduce so well. But he's gonna actually save the stasis units, which is really nice.
That is really nice. I think Balthazar at this point, what he probably wants to do is just force more engagements with Teddybear. Even if he doesn't take very good engagements, he has a lot of money coming in. He still has a big bank. He can afford to lose it and reproduce it, whereas opponent is having a lot more trouble doing exactly that.
Oh, he's gonna have some DTs in the main base of Teddybear. Teddybear's gonna have to chrono boost that cannon, but the cannons go down so fast. These are so heavy upgraded units. +3 attack, and he's gonna lose the rest of these DTs now, but just having this Warp Prism in the main base of Teddybear is gonna prove to be trouble for his head or something.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-2-3 here for Balthazar, which explains why he's able to take these engagements as well as he is, despite not necessarily having that great position. 2-1-3 is up for Teddybear, and Teddybear's supply has dropped to the 100 regions, whereas Balthazar is still firmly above 180. He's just wrecking these armies by Teddybear. Even if he's not necessarily doing economic damage, he's just winning the battle.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He also somehow was hallucinating some probes. I don't know what the story with that was, but those probes and misclicks. But we actually have Balthazar taking down one base after the other, and he's just a force to be reckoned with. And it's just really hard to say how, like, the map it's been split. It was a split situation map. They were fairly equal in upgrades, they had a fairly equal everything, but Balthazar just produces way more stuff, and has
Well, he does
way
have a
more.
lot more money coming in, so I suppose that's true. But yeah, Balthazar, you know, aside from when he's maxed, he generally doesn't tend to have a lot of bank. Right now is an exception because he was maxed very, very recently.
Yeah.
He's also making a lot of pylons for some reason.
And oh wow, is he just? Yeah, there we go. GG, Balthazar taking that game.